Good evening, Ken Tortoise Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast for July 19th, 2023. We'll start with the 30-minute charts, hybrid swing portfolio, starting with Alcoa. We took the pocket entry, the COTA 2. It moved out initially in our favor, but we stopped it at no lose plus dinner for 2, no overnight risk. AI, we initiated the 1-2-3 entry midday, are holding a no lose plus dinner for 2 going into tomorrow. Caterpillar, we closed the COTA 2 for 3R and then re entered on the crossing of the dragon and holding about half an hour. Cliff Natural Resources. I thought strongly about the COTA 2 to the short side, but I felt like we had time for that to develop tomorrow. Didn't want to hold overnight risk. CVS got the initial gap and go and was well in the money, and then ended up with about a 1R on the harsh sell-off. It sold off more and then resumed, so I re-entered, and we had a burst there at the close. So we're holding 3R, and it looks like it's free and clear. Dish Network, this is an emerging dragon, and holding about half an hour. Devon Energy, no trade. Electronic Arts initiated a COTA 2 short at the PSAR flip. That should be like right in here. There we go. The scale was off a little. And this closed poorly, so we're holding 2R, and I'm looking for a target down here around 135. Emerging markets, I couldn't hold off any longer on the grind. When it came out of the dragon, I got short, and then it did nothing, and we scratched. Ethereum initiated a COTA 2 yesterday, and that closed really well today, so we're holding about 3R. No change. Mexico, we closed the emerging dragon for a fractional win. Brazil initiated a COTA 2 long. Intel COTA 2 long from yesterday. We closed at about half an hour. Not a lot of follow through on that one. So IP, this was a COTA 2, and it was in our favor initially and ended up scratching. It sold off, and then when it broached the dragon again, we got long, and now we're holding a tiny little fraction. It's a lot of work for holding a little gain over the week, over the night. Probably should have exited in here. Real estate, same trade, only this is one where I did exit for a fraction. That was a lot of work for nothing. KRE, however, this was massively good. So a couple days ago, we got the COTA 2. It closed well, and then the next day was a gap and go, so we got a second position, and it closed well. And then today it gapped up, so I added a second position and a third position. And right here, I decided to exit those two for about 3R. But I'm still holding the originals, those two positions. So I still wanted to have exposure because I think that's going to look really good tomorrow. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is about 8R, and that's about 6R. So that's about 14. And it's free and clear. That thing is moving out smartly. Mattel. We covered the short from yesterday's stop and reversal, and that gained us about 2R. The reversal was nice. I wasn't quick enough to get this, and I don't believe in it. But I think that is really well postured to go tomorrow because this has been a real runner. Actually, maybe I should be believing in that, except we've had some COTA 2s to the downside. So if this continues tomorrow, I'll be happy to get long. I just didn't want to hold it overnight. McDonald's, tried a caught a 2 and scratched. Merck. This was a caught a 2 and no lose plus dinner for 2. Ended up getting out of that one after a nice initial run. This collapse in the afternoon looks promising for the short side for tomorrow. Microsoft. This was yesterday's gift, and I thought about getting short here, but I didn't believe the downside, and I talked myself out of a nice dragon exit for an intraday gift. Follow the price. Stop thinking. Marijuana just got short on the PSAR flip, and it closed poorly, so we're about 2R up on that one. NVIDIA covered the COTA 2 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5R. Like it. Clean energy. I took the intraday gift right here with a stop at the dragon. So that's the dragon stop, a little over 1R. Rivian got short. We're holding about 1R. The S&P was in a quiet grind today, and this is looking a little toppy going into Friday, or Thursday and Friday. Treasuries was a trade of the day, so this is what this looks like on the 30-minute. So this is an emerging dragon, and off it goes. And that's intraday gift was about 3R. But what I want you to look at for today's lesson, this is what that trade looks like on just strictly 30 minutes. So you get this gap up opening, and it rolls down and then crosses back up. So we get long in here with a standard risk. It's about 25 cents. And it moves out nicely. It turns to summer. And then coming towards the close, I don't like holding treasuries overnight, so that gave us a nice 3R on a routine swing on 30-minute charts. Now, however, this was one of the better movers early, so if I want to do something else with that and drill down to the 3-minute charts, it might look something like this. And these are the price entry and exit points based on the 30-minute trade. So that was the 30-minute trade right there. Okay. And you can see that there was some room for a emerging dragon and a COTA 2 and another COTA 2. So there were moments in this curve where a turbo could have been added to the initial stop, right? And again, this is about a 25-cent stop using the hybrid swing framework. Now, if you want to be aggressive on the 3 minutes, because of the move in 30 minutes, this is what it looks like. So I want to highlight, this is me exploiting the this little morning hook and move, right? So as I see that developing, that's my 3-minute entry. And now what I want you to notice is that this big yellow box, about 35 cents, that's the swing stop. Okay, and this is the swing entry in the yellow. So the 30-minute hybrid swing. And so that was never really tested. This stop for the 30-minute hybrid is down here. And that never got tested at all during the day. Right? But on the 3-minute, I'm able to front run that. And I'm using the same price point because that's the price which, if it gets breached, is the trigger for the collapsing dragon. So both of these entries fail in the same place. It's just that the 30-minute chart waited a little longer and is essentially an emerging dragon. Now, that was a single trade, and that one exits up here. And that's what the 3R swing trade looks like on this one, right? So you got 1, 2, 3 on the big yellow box from 110 to 101.85. What I want you to notice is that when you dial down to the 3-minute chart, and if you use the R10, then your stop is 13 cents, call it 15. And so you've got almost 3 of those inside the same risk that's appropriate on the 30-minute. But the other key point is that this stop here is the trigger for both of those trades. It's just that for the swing, you ended up waiting longer to get in. Now, this COTA 2 entry, because you had a low, that becomes a COTA 2 on the PSAR flip with the standard risk box of the R10. That peaks and gets out here. And I want you to notice that's a 2R, 1, 2, that's a 2R win. And at some point it was up 3.5. Now, when it does not fail further, then you get a second COTA 2, and here's on the 3-minute chart entry. This is 1, 2. This is now the 2R battle drill entry. This is the 4R battle drill entry. And this is the orderly exit after the R10 peaks, and we take the dragon exit. So let's count them up. This one gets 1, 2, 3, 4. This one gets 1, 2. This one gets a half and pays for commissions. So that's about a 6R as compared to the single position 3R. And remember, this one was holding 2. So we got 2 on this one, 6 on this one, and now the COTA 2, we get this. And then there's 1, 2. That's convenient. And then the second position basically scratches. We don't want that to get negative. And the first position, which gets out here, earns 2. So now we've got 2, 6, and 2. So that's a 10R turbo trade plus the 3R swing trade. So this is a way to look at leveraging the power of 30-minute swings with 3-minute turbos. This was kind of the same lesson as yesterday. And this, of course, is the frame of reference that comes out of TC 2000. And just as, a point of reference, that's your R10. This is the 30-minute reasonable risk. And then this is the size of a range stat, which is a $1.28 in the Treasury. So this move from here had every reason to believe that it could get that high, and it basically did. That's a range stat move, above average range. Okay, back to our Tesla. Got a couple days ago, got the breakout and scratch, then the reentry. It closed well yesterday, and today came back and gave us a dragon exit for about +3. And then U.S. Steel took the collapsing dragon, supported fall crossing, and the dragon exit for about half an hour. Quick look at some of the traders today. All right, we're going to take a quick look at the traders today. This is red and the Japanese yen on 3 minutes. I'm wondering why we got out. It had to have 2R, but we probably left 6 on the table. And then there's a re-entry that has 1 on there. I like the short here. I like the exit at the edge of the dragon, but I'm looking for a re-entry right here. This wasn't bad. But that's a fake 1 go true. And that's probably one, two, three. That's about four. So we left up almost 10R on the table there. The Kiwi, there's a PSAR flip. And I like that because if it violates this, you're so close to the Z3 pinch that you could be short. So that's really almost a fake one and go two. If you're going to take the Z3 breakout, you draw the line from here and you get long here instead of there. And then that doesn't scratch, that pays off. I like the short. That could be a stop and reverse and you still get paid, especially given the previous strong move. That's a COTA 2 exit and a COTA 2 entry simultaneously. PSAR flip, OR3. I like the rejection at the dragon. I think you can get short in here or certainly by here or by here. This is we're well past the Z3. And just now when it gives us those two and nothing more, just scratch that and then get long here with a stop down here and then that would have paid off. Because remember, this retracement here is noise. This retracement is noise until that gets violated. So if that's your risk box, there's your payoff. So let's start killing this thing right here, right? That's so when it does this and comes back and starts to fail, I like this entry or this entry or this entry. Any one of those three gets you paid all the way to here. Then you take a dragon exit here instead of here. Brian, working on the Dow on the threes. Maybe here, but this is still pretty good. That's more reliable. Perfect exit. I'd like to see you short here, but we can live with that. And good. 2.4. Me gusta. Brazil. I like the breakout and maybe. So that's still a pretty good exit. This is where our short should be. Oh, you stopped in reverse. Beauty. And then a second position. Beauty. Cash. And then short again. Another 1.7. That's 4.1 for the day. Nice work. Here's a quick bite after the consolidation and the PSAR break. We might have gotten along here, but that's reasonable. And you wanted to get paid for 0.8, and the rest of the day was choppy. All right, so we're at 0.3 on Tesla. Gap gets paid. Here's a COTA 2 all day, but you were working. Okay, got it. No worries. 0.3 on Cliff. He got what was available on the PSAR flip and takes a dragon exit. Perfect. Let's see here. OR3. Ooh. So this short after that move is getting short right into that support level. And so that's a good exit. I like the re-entry here. Could do another re-entry there. I like this. It's a quick fail. I love the re-entry even better. If you were still around, you could take that rejection of the VWAP as a really strong signal. So -1 for the day. +2 on Devon. A couple quick scratches. Crushes this one. And gets that one well done. -2.2 on Merck. We want that re-entry, boy. So long cash, that's where that re-entry could be. Span of control. Now notice that the gain stat is right here. When it gets this far and starts to fail, that's what makes that a perfect exit or entry, excuse me. Now see this shelf? Get short a second position here. And then take the dragon exit here. But still, that's pretty good. This could be a COTA 2. That could actually be an SSC. But you were running out of daylight. Let's see. Hamad took some advice on adjusting his position sizing. The PSAR stop loss would cost about 0.3, led to a very relaxed trading session and could trade the whole session. OR3, quick cut, could get short there. There's a collapsing dragon gets paid. Collapsing dragon gets paid. I'd be so tempted here. Great. This, if you take that, it would have scratched. I might have tried this one short, but you can see we're heading into compression, and that didn't cost you much. So 1.1, not too bad. There was a little more available, but I like the way you managed that with the new strategy. Microsoft +1. Tries it, quick cut. Tries it again. Unfortunate that that gets paid though. Tries it, quick cut. Now, after 3 failed trades, he smashes this. Now, when that Z3 pinch hits right there, put a second position there instead of here. I like this exit. I love that re-entry. I'd probably want a second position here and then get all out right there. This one tried long. This one tried long. This one tried long. And smashes for a total of +1. Felt like it was better than that. If you get those second positions, it gets better faster. NVIDIA 2.3. The stop and reverse was great. So was this one. It stuck around too late. We let a trade that was well in our favor go negative. That's the COTA 2. Actually, not a COTA 2. That would have been an SSC because that's a big, because that is lower than here. If you take that one, you got to stop and reverse in here. I love this entry. Good cover. Maybe a bar slow on this one. And bringing in 2.3. The rest of it was well into the chop, but it didn't hurt you much. -0.. We should do better on this big long trade where we have leg 1, leg 2, leg 3. Each one of those collapsing dragons is an opportunity. Because remember, this is a narrowly traded company, and when this thing can't even get through the dragon and get to the PSAR, that's a signal for a second and a third position. And Tesla 1.7. Yeah, there was more available. You're starting to see those now that you're in a little more relaxed state of mind. I like this long here because you notice the harsh winter, and there you go. Nice. Same thing here. It was there. There just wasn't much follow through. The re-entry was appropriate. It didn't gain much, but it's still appropriate. I like this when it falls through the Red River and is now getting harsh in the fall, and then it hits This is where it hits winter. So that's why I think this could be a second position right there. Nice work, fellas. We'll get this published and posted, and see you tomorrow.